Dylann playing Dennis Rodman levels of defense on Mr.GOATchick without hesitation is exactly why he is the GOAT. Also, before I get into the finale, I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribe. Please try to enjoy the action of doing both equally and not show preference for any over the other. I should also note that if you haven't watched Severance, you should go watch it because there will be spoilers in this video. I'm not here to give a summary of season 1 and 2 or just season 2 itself. I just feel like talking about the finale and some callbacks from this past season. Okay, intro done. Time for the video now. Bye! When I originally saw the last scene of season 2, I was not expecting the reaction that I got from a lot of the fan base. I saw lots of people complaining about Innie and his decision, and I was like, did we watch the same finale? Have we been watching the same season? Have we been watching the same show? At the same time, I love seeing all the debates and discussions about this finale. With this show being on Apple TV, I was a little scared that maybe the show would be canceled or something, but it's safe to say that Severance is here to stay, and I love that. It is one of the best shows I've seen in a while, and this finale helps cement that. Now, much like the episode itself, this scene had a lot going on, so I'm gonna start from the beginning and work my way towards what is one of the most defining scenes I've ever seen. The episode beginning with a conversation between Innie and Outie is one of the coolest scenes and performances by an actor that I've ever seen. The fact I even have to describe these two as Innie and Outie is a compliment in and of itself to Adam Scott for portraying these characters so brilliantly and differently, because they are different. I mean, they have similar tendencies, like when they both stand up when they begin to argue with each other. They both take it personal when someone else calls their loved one by the wrong name.
Any name's Helene?
Yeah, Outie, you filmed right there, dog. That was a big time L and was once again a reminder of how selfish Outies can be. A quote that has always stuck with me throughout this show is when PD in season 1 said,
I used to think it would take a monster to put someone in a place like that office. Especially if the person was himself.
Outie had his reasons as to why he underwent the severance procedure. I'm not denying those reasons. It's also true that creating this whole person who is confined to being in this office and that's all they see and know, all because you want to escape from things troubling you, is a selfish thing to do. I'm not faulting Mark, but I'm not cutting him any slack either, and neither does his Innie.
What do you want from me? We are in this together. Can't you just trust me? No.
Both of these Marks are completely valid with what they want to do. Outie wants to save his wife, who has been held prisoner at Lumen. The whole reason Innie even exists is because he thought his wife was gone and he doesn't want to lose her a second time. Innie obviously wants to save Gemma. He also doesn't want every other Innie, especially the ones he's befriended, to be gone forever. Innie has completely changed since the beginning of the show. He's not that Boy Scout anymore. He has been through a lot and he has been taken advantage of time and time again. Why would he want to put himself in a position like that again where others use him for their own benefit? Take advantage of his feelings for what they want to do. He is his own person, and even if all the cards are stacked against him, he wants to do what he feels is the right thing. He wants to call his own shot. Both Marks do, if I'm being honest. This scene is amazing and really sets the stage for what's to be the completion of Cold Harbor. These Lumen dudes are so weird, man. I'm always surprised when some wacky shenanigans take place in the show, but these dudes take the cake with that. Mr.GOATchick is the greatest character I've seen in some time. He steals damn near every scene he is in, and I love him for that. This season really made it clear how higher management felt about Milkshake. Like making this script for him to read and having parts of that undermine him over and over again is just so gross. I'm glad he was able to stand up for himself though. He is the GOAT for that. Dylann is already a GOAT, like I had already mentioned, both versions of him. Albeit they are two totally different circumstances, but the fact both versions of himself were able to come to this understanding together, I thought was really cool and sweet. It was a moment where Dylann was inspiring Dylann to be a better husband and father, while Dylann was giving Dylann the respect he so rightfully deserves. It was a very endearing moment, just like how this was a very endearing conversation. Mark and Helly talking about Delaware, Europe, Zimbabwe, and the Equator got me messed up, man. I was in my feelings. And the moment she said, "but I'm her," in reference to her Outie, broke my heart. This could be one of their last conversations. They don't know what exactly can end up happening in the next few minutes. They just know they love each other and wish they could spend all the time in the world together, while also weighing the responsibility they have to go and save Miss Casey. And before you know it, Cold Harbor Completed.
Your very own floor manager.
What happens next is pure chaos. There is literally a scene where a goat is going to get sacrificed. Let me say that again. There is literally a scene where a goat is going to get sacrificed. This dude getting beat up made me smile from ear to ear, by the way. Him subsequently dying when there is the Innie Outie switch was a very cool callback to the finale of season 1, where when there was that initial switch, Miss Cobell brought up why he tensed up. Give these writers a raise immediately. This is genius, okay? Outie Mark finally has his opportunity to save his wife. The fact these losers were making her not only wear the outfit she wore the last time they were together, they were making her disassemble a baby carriage knowing damn well she had had a miscarriage. It is one of the most twisted, despicable things I have ever seen in a show. Mark seeing his wife again and them embracing each other was such an incredible moment. I felt so happy for these two. I struggled to find the words to explain this moment because it transcended the TV show for me, if I'm being honest. Job's not finished though.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
They gotta get out, and this is where things get crazy. Them getting back to the elevator, embracing each other again, and then swapping back to Innie, Mark, and Miss Casey and keeping that what's taking place awkward energy. Give this show all the Emmys. I don't care. Add obscure categories just to give this show even more Emmys. I don't care. This is peak acting, and I'm not saying that lightly. They make a run for it. Gemma is outside and free. All Innie Mark has to do is walk out, and mission success for Outie Mark. But does Innie Mark really want that? What does he want to do? He is his own individual after all. He has lived his life here for 2 months and has met some great people. One of those people being someone he loves. He doesn't live to serve Outie Mark and what he wants to do. Season 2 opened with Mark running to wellness to check on Miss Casey because he is a good person, but it was also because he felt he had a duty to find his wife. That wasn't his wife. That was his Outie's wife. And Adam Scott says it best, so I'll let him say it.
It isn't until that moment that he pushes her through the door and is looking at her and realizing he has no feelings for this person. And then Helly calls his name.
Mark!
And then it's like, oh my God, if we just stay here, maybe we can be together another 10 minutes? Who knows?
This finale ending with Gemma screaming for her husband while Mark and Helly run off together holding hands, again, not knowing what could happen in the next few minutes, is one of the most poetic love stories I've seen. As much as I wanted to see Mark run out that door with Gemma, I completely understood why he didn't, and I found myself rooting for Mark and Helly, but feeling so sad at the same time, because someone was going to lose because a decision had to be made, and a person made that decision. And off he goes to the Equator with someone he holds near and dear to his heart. On the Severance Season 3 we go, baby!